Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Twilight Princess. We're back here on Elden Bridge, where we got interrupted by the postman. And now we're off to get our second piece of heart in between dungeons, and that was a very close shot. So we want to head up through this northern path here. We don't really go through this place very often. In fact, I think we've only been through here once before. So there's going to be a bunch of archers on the way, and it's going to get kind of hectic, but as I said, as long as you keep moving in sort of a zigzag pattern, you know, go back and forth like this, they'll pretty much always miss you. If you keep running in a straight line, they will absolutely put an arrow in you, so, you know, make sure to keep moving at all times. Anyway, there's a spinner on this, or a spinner rail, rather, on this rock over here on the side, which leads us down to this very nice circular patch of grass. Yeah, I kind of wonder how this got there, and, you know, who built that little spinner path to actually get here. So many unanswered questions. So anyway, we can dig in here as a wolf. It's pretty obvious that we can dig in there as a wolf. I mean, what else would you do with that big circle in the ground there? So we're going to have a few enemies in here. It's just 3 Stalfos, as usual. They're very, very easy. Bomb arrows will pretty much just take care of everything. And there's one more back here. Alright, so that takes care of all 3 of those. As usual, defeating all 3 of the enemies in this cave will reveal a chest. And as I've already said, we're going to be getting our piece of heart. Oh, don't roll off there. Don't need to hold the bow out either. Come on, open the chest. There we go. So there is our next piece of heart. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think this is the 28th piece of heart we've gotten. So, we've come quite a long way in that, too. Because we're gonna, you know, like I said, every dungeon has, at least as far as I know, like, I'm not too sure about the later ones because I haven't actually looked, per se. But, like, pretty much every dungeon has 2 pieces of heart. So the next one we're going into, we're gonna get those next 2 pieces of heart, you know, in order to fill up our next heart container. And then we'll get the heart container at the end of that dungeon too, so, you know, by the end of the next dungeon we'll be up to 14 hearts, and that's, that means we've made pretty good progress in the game so far. But we've done all of our optional side collecting stuff in between dungeons now, so all that's left to do is to actually advance the story. Imagine that. So we need to be going into Hyrule Castle Town, because as I've said before, what you need to be doing, like, pretty much in between each dungeon from here on out, you need to be going to Telma's bar and talk to the group of fellows. I like referring to them as the group of fellows. I think that should be their new official name. Anyway, you talk to them in order to find out, like, where the next person is gone and where you should check out next. The only thing that I don't really like about getting into this next dungeon is it's just a lot of fetch quests, pretty much. You know, go here, talk to this person, get this, go here, show it to this person, get this, go to this person, get this. You know, it's just over and over the same thing until you can eventually get to where you need to be going. But, oh well, I guess it's unavoidable. So thankfully, Telma's bar is open 24/7, because we'd be in a little bit of trouble if it wasn't. So, what do you got to say to us this time, Telma? How's that Ilya doing? Well, I haven't checked in on her, actually. Oh well. Anyway, got your own things to worry about, so just make sure you do what needs to be done. I'm not doubting you, but you ought to go talk to Ashay. She's up on Hyrule's northern mountain checking things out, and she's got good instincts. Yeah, if you need detailed directions, just take a peek at the map. Turns out you can actually do this with Auru, too, the first one in Lake Hylia. Like, you know, I said, well, I guess the game just figures you to, you know, make out that information yourself, but you can do this for that, too. I guess I just completely forgot about it at the time. So this is where Ashay is, in the very northern part. This is Zora's domain, as it says up there at the top. So that's where we need to be going next. Actually, let's talk to Auru, because we haven't gotten to talk to him outside of Lake Hylia yet. Say, you're alive and well. Tell me, did you find anything of interest at the Arbiter's grounds in the desert? The sages. Those sages once served the royal family, actually. They were appointed as tutors to the young Princess Zelda. It was from them that I first heard the tales of the accursed mirror. So this guy has actually been there and talked to the sages? Wow, he's pretty awesome. Did you see the sad state of Hyrule Castle? Yeah, you can pretty much see it from everywhere you go. I haven't really pointed that out too much, but literally almost every single place, including like way off into the desert, you can look back into the Hyrule Castle area and see the huge barrier around it. It's really just this big ominous thing. But now that we've gotten our information that we needed to collect, let's head up into Zora's Domain. And go talk to Ashay as soon as we finish warping. There we are. So let's just materialize into this big pool of Zoras who don't care that a wolf just magically appeared in front of them. And we can head out. And it's starting to turn morning, actually, which is good, because there's something I want to do while we're kind of in the vicinity during the daytime. I think time actually passes in Zora's Domain, which is kind of weird. Because it usually doesn't pass in, big places and towns and areas like this. But that actually helps us out quite a bit. So let's head over this way, and Ashay is through this little cave. I think after unfreezing Zora's Domain that you can actually get there. I'm not sure, it may actually have been blocked out by a big piece of ice. I can't remember right now for the life of me, but let's transform into a human and talk to Ashay. Even if you could get here earlier, you can't actually progress all the way through here because of the huge blizzard on back there. It's kind of like the desert area in Ocarina of Time. If you take the wrong path, you'll get warped back. At least I think that's how it works, anyway. I gotta admit, I'm just kind of spitballing off the top of my head here. I'm not entirely sure of all these things I'm saying, but well, whatever. So ever since Zora's Domain got covered in ice, this mountain's been much colder than usual. Not only that, but I heard a really weird story. Oh, I like weird stories. Apparently the beast that lives somewhere on this mountain has been seen frequently in Zora's Domain. I was curious, so I came and waited, and as they'd said, a giant appeared. Yeah, it looked like this. So Ashay hands us her 4-page sketch that just so happens to be folded the same way and on the same paper as Oru's memento to Fier. So apparently this thing's been stealing red fish from the village. I went to investigate further, but I can't even see the path through this blizzard. I'm sure you're here because you're curious about the mountain, but you'd best not go without a plan. Good call, actually. For once, we're going to take the NPC's advice and not venture forward. But instead, we're going to get some more information about this big beast man that she talked about. It's now daytime, I guess, because the music's playing, so that helps us out quite a lot, actually. So let's show the sketch to this guard here. He should know whatever passes through that cave. Hey, the beast of Snow Peak. Oh, the red fish it's holding, that's a reek fish. Okay. It seems to be that way. We didn't think that anyone besides Prince Ralis was capable of catching this type of fish. So there's your next clue to go on your next step on the fetch quest, is to, I need to go back up here so they don't see me warp. But we need to be finding Prince Ralis, and as you may remember, we brought Prince Ralis to Kakariko Village, so we should check on him there. But while we're in Kakariko Village, there's just one more thing that I want to do first. As soon as we get over there. Again, I guess this warping animation isn't really that long, but it just feels like it takes forever. So anyway, you don't want to go into Kakariko Village as a wolf because everybody will run away and lock their doors, and you can't really do all the crap that you want to do. So, we have 492 rupees, and you may remember this Goron that's taking donations inside of Mallow Mart. So I'm going to finish up. We had 400 left on this guy. We're 400 rupees short. So let's donate 400 rupees. Glorious day! We have collected enough funds to finance repairs to the bridge connecting East Castletown to Hyrule Field, brudda. Those corrupt price gouging shops in Castletown are officially on notice. Soon they will rue. We hope you will continue to financial support, yada yada. So if you talk to this guy again, actually, he says, we now have only 2,000 rupees left before we reach our goal for financing a store. If this were Wind Waker, this wouldn't be a problem, but it isn't, so we've got a little bit of trouble here. So actually, once you get to this 2,000 rupee donation, what you want to do is instead of donating anything towards that 2,000, just come back outside of the store. And you can actually do sort of a job for this Goron right here in order to reduce the second donation needed to only 2,000. Or not only 2,000, to change from 2,000 to only 200. There we go, that's what I meant to say. I'm not going to be doing that yet, though, because I don't have 200 rupees. So I'm just going to, wait and do that the next time we pass through. And then I can, just go ahead and donate and get all that over with at the same time. So we want to actually come to the graveyard. I kind of forgot, because I'm just sort of used to automatically knowing where to go. But if you talk to Beth, actually, the girl from Orden Village, then she'll tell you that Prince Ralis has been visiting his mother's grave back here in the graveyard. I forgot to do that because, you know, I don't think about it, I just know where to go. But that's how you would know to come here. So let's just swim on over to Prince Ralis. And he says, Is your name Link? My mother came to me in a dream. She showed me your image. Spoke of a youth who would save our domain and steal my fate. I must thank you for all you've done. If there's anything I can ever do for you, please tell me. Please. Well, so we need to be showing this sketch to Prince Ralis. He'll tell us how to get the reek fish and all that stuff. But we're going to take care of that in the next part because we're pretty much out of time. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.